there is no Tooth Fairy, there is no Easter Bunny, and there is no Nintendo Direct. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Media. Today, I want to talk about a recent rumor coming from Emily Rogers over on Family Boards about the next Fire Emblem, as well as the rumor from Alana Pierce that there is a Nintendo Direct on June 29th. Now, the focus of this video is the Fire Emblem thing. That's what I'm titling it. However, I do want to touch on the Nintendo Direct rumors and just kind of talk about Nintendo Direct because we didn't get one. We didn't get one at the normal time we normally do for E3. Actually, the day I'm posting this, that's when it would have happened. You know, that Tuesday, 9 a.m. Then we would have Treehouse. We did not get a Nintendo Direct this year, following all the other big press conferences, which is, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not surprised. I wasn't expecting one. I was hoping for one. I certainly was, but I did not expect a Nintendo Direct this time because, well, we have a lot of stuff already dated. By the time they would have announced it, Mario Strikers would have still not been out, as well as Three Hopes, and then Live Alive and Xenoblade and Splatoon, and we already have a lot dated, so it really didn't feel like they needed a Direct, honestly, as much as I want one. But yeah, so Alana Pierce, a writer at Sony Santa Monica, former IGN host and all that, was streaming, and she mentioned off the cuff, like, she was talking about all these events, and she was like, oh yeah, Nintendo Direct, June 29th, right? And then everybody on chat was like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, no, I guess it's a leak. Sorry, guys. So yes, she seems to know that there's a Nintendo Direct on June 29th, and if you don't trust her, I mean, that's fine, but just know that she is a employee at Sony, not Nintendo, but you would think an employee at Sony would have information like that. She's also leaked stuff before. I can't remember what exactly, but she has done some Nintendo leaking in the past. So, yeah, and then a bunch of other outlets started reporting it. I believe GameXplain mentioned that they had heard the same thing. VGC, Video Games Chronicle, they mentioned the same thing. So, yeah, it seems set in stone that a Nintendo Direct will be on June 29th. Now, I think that kind of sets the stage for this rumor we're going to talk about from Emily Rogers over on Family Boards, because that is very interesting. Nintendo doesn't really do late-month Directs, But this time they are, seemingly, and I wonder why. It's almost like they want to release a Fire Emblem game before they announce the next one. So, yeah, this all comes from Emily Rogers over on Family Boards. Of course, is a Nintendo Forum website. She just dropped this bombshell on us. Of course, we knew a mainline Fire Emblem game was in development. We knew one had to be close, being almost done, if not done. I've been predicting one to be announced in a Nintendo Direct forever. When they announced Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes back in, I think, February, I was kind of blindsided, I wasn't too shocked that they would do another Fire Emblem Warriors. I didn't think it would happen before the next mainline Fire Emblem. But now it's all kind of making sense, If you really think about it, you would want to get 3 Hopes out before another mainline Fire Emblem game. People are still thinking about Three Houses and talking about the characters and everything, so getting a tie-in game for that release before the next mainline Fire Emblem makes sense. So that all adds up. But then also, you want to release that spin-off of that game, of those characters, before you announce and start marketing the next mainline Fire Emblem, which, based on these rumors, even without these rumors, I still would have said this, I do think is going to release this year. I think it'll be October to December, somewhere in that time frame, and I do think it's going to release this year. So this is what Emily says. Here's what I can share about the new Fire Emblem game. She just kind of randomly shared this in the Nintendo Direct speculation thread they have over there. Upcoming Fire Emblem is a new game, not a remake. Brand new story. So right there, that already, squanches a bunch of theories and rumors people had of the next game being a rumor. Now, I believe Nate Drake over on Family Boards has also said the similar thing on the Nate the Hate podcast, saying new story this time around. However, the next game after this will be a remake, which lines up for me. I think that makes sense. But yeah, no remake right now. I think Genealogy of the Holy War is definitely up for. It's up for the taking, dude. It has to be the next one they do, I feel like. But maybe not. But yeah, we're getting a new story first. Collaboration between Intelligent Systems, Koei Tecmo, and Gus, which is a division of Koei Tecmo Holdings. Sounds about right once again. It is interesting to see, people, when they think of Fire Emblem, think of Intelligent Systems. Intelligent Systems makes WarioWare and Paper Mario. For some reason, Fire Emblem isn't really like a priority there at all. It seems like Koei Tecmo has really kind of helmed the series ever since Fire Emblem Warriors came out. They've just really been on that series. Nintendo just has a great relationship with them, which is awesome to see. Koei Tecmo, of course, just announced that new Wulong game at the Xbox Showcase. So great developer and publisher. So yeah, they're pretty much handling this again, I would assume. With I would say she said it's a collaboration between Intelligent Systems and Koei Tecmo. I would assume it's more so Koei Tecmo with Intelligent Systems overseeing development, overall kind of supervising, but kind of like how Bandai Namco makes Smash Brothers, but Sakurai leads it. So no surprise there that Koei Tecmo is helping out. Gust heavily assisted with the visuals / graphics. The graphics are an improvement over Three Houses. This is music to my ears. I am in the camp that Three Houses is ugly as sin. I think that game is hideous. I think it's probably one of the worst looking first-party Switch games, if I'm being completely honest with you. I know I'm probably gonna get some comment warriors down there being like, what's wrong with it? Dude, the character models look crusty as hell. And it makes sense why. It was running in the Warriors engine. The engine meant to downscale and have 1,000 characters on the screen at once. That's why Fire Emblem Three Houses doesn't look good. I remember even a few years back, people were speculating they were going to make a Three Houses Warriors game because it was in that same engine, and lo and behold, they are. So hopefully this game is a massive upgrade, because when I saw Three Houses for the first time, I was excited. I was like, okay, finally, console Fire Emblem again. After Awakening kind of rebooted the franchise into popularity, especially in the West, and then it just kind of whelmed me. I was very whelmed when I first saw Three Houses, so hopefully this is a big graphics improvement over that game. All right, now this is really interesting. I think it's probably the most interesting tidbit of the entire thing here. Originally intended as an anniversary game to celebrate Fire Emblem's 30th anniversary, the game has been finished for over a year. Now, this is the Nintendo I love to see. I love hearing stuff like this. We just got the rumor last week from fan by Imran Khan saying that Everybody's 1-2 Switch, the sequel to 1-2 Switch, is complete. They're just sitting on it. We've heard rumors that Metroid Prime Trilogy is also complete, and they're just sitting on it, or Prime 1 Remake, however they're slicing it. Yeah, it sounds like this Fire Emblem game is just done. They're just waiting to release it. And once again, it makes sense, because you don't want to release this before Three Hopes, and then Three Hopes obviously happen, and then you don't want to have them butting heads like that. I think if you released the new game before Three Hopes, it would have been an issue. Releasing Three Hopes and then 5-6 months later a new game, that's fine. But the other order I don't think would really work out. Yeah, so this was originally intended as an anniversary game for Fire Emblem. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the anniversary of Fire Emblem was in 2021, the 30th anniversary, or maybe 2020. Either way, a year or two ago, because I remember they released, I don't have it here, it's over there, they released that big box for, I forget which one it was. They had the little fake NES cartridge acrylic thing. I'll put it up on screen. You know what I'm talking about. They did that, Shadow Dragon, right? Maybe not Shadow Dragon. I probably sound like a fool right now. So they did that game, the NES translated for the first time, NES ROM translated. So we got that for the anniversary. I think that was late 2020. So evidently there was supposed to be a full new Fire Emblem game released that year. I'm just going to assume early 2021, which really does line up. So if you look at the past Fire Emblem kind of release schedule, Fire Emblem is a biannual series. They release a game every other year. Ever since 2013, you had, I guess every two and a half years, I would say. You had 2012 in Japan, Fire Emblem Awakening, and then 2015, Fire Emblem of Fates, then 2017, Echoes, as well as Warriors, then 2019, Three Houses. So it's definitely overdue. It's been 3 years now since the last Fire Emblem game. Of course, we're getting Warriors literally next week. That hasn't really, it's a spinoff. But you're definitely overdue for a mainline game. Of course, pandemic happened, and then Three Hopes seemingly maybe got in the way of them releasing it. They didn't want to release this new game before that. Yeah, new anniversary game that is evidently done. Now, in another post, Emily kind of put out the theory that maybe since it's already done, maybe they're just working on post-launch DLC. That's totally possible, especially when we get into what this game actually is. So, she says, oh man, well, I'm kind of skipping around here, but last bullet point she gave here. New Emblems gimmick allows players to summon Fire Emblem characters from the past for your squad. And I'll just read this next bit here. Main character, or main lord, has strange red and blue hair. His mother is a dragon. So, that last one isn't really that interesting, red and blue hair, whatever. Maybe you'll have two different paths again, where you choose the red path and the blue path. Who knows? Literally Pokemon. But the Emblems gimmick, what does that sound like to you guys? Summoning old Fire Emblem characters from the past to your squad. they're putting Fire Emblem Heroes on console, guys. No, obviously this is going to be a full game, you know, $60 retail game, AAA game from Nintendo. However, it is very funny to have the ability to summon old Fire Emblem characters to your squad. It's definitely fan service. It definitely sounds like a game that would release as part of an anniversary celebration, and that seems to be what we're getting. It makes so much sense. Fire Emblem's community is so obsessed, for lack of a better word, with the characters. The characters are the heart of the series, the voice actors, everything. People love the characters of Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem Heroes prove that. If you look at it, I mean, Three Houses was already well into development in 2017, 2018. Fire Emblem Heroes was a big hit around that same time. They probably immediately were like, okay, let's make this a full game. Let's do this on the Switch, you know? So that seems to be our main, it's called Emblems, the Emblems gimmick. That seems to be the main focus this time around. Now, she does mention it in another post. Let me pull it up right here. That's, don't worry, because a lot of people in the thread were like, oh no, it's going to be a bunch of old characters, you know, kind of hodgepodge together. She says, don't worry, there are a ton of new characters. You can summon past characters from FE history, but past characters aren't the majority of the cast. So you don't have to worry about that. However, it definitely does sound like some potential, you know, gacha elements, or it just does really sound like fan service, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, you know. I need to say that. It's not a bad thing to have some fan service. Fire Emblem at its core has been fan service since 2013. That is what the series is now. Whether you like it or not, it is. That's why I personally love Echo so much, because it wasn't as fan servicey. But yeah, so this is just really interesting. I think, going back to what I was talking about earlier with the Nintendo Direct, I think this is probably the big game in that Direct. One of them at least, you know, this, maybe we'll see Bayonetta 3 get a release date for that, Mario plus Rabbids. I think in terms of the big new announcements, this will be probably like the opener or the closer. I think this is the biggest probably announcement they'll have for a game being announced and then released later this year. I do think it's coming out this year. Emily said it herself. The game's done. The game is done. So why not release it this year? I guess they could sit on it for until, like, you know, next spring, but with how crowded next year is looking, I think they'll just sit on it, or, you know, just go ahead and release it, you know? Especially if my theories are right, and, you know, you see Bayonetta get delayed or something, and Mario plus Rabbids isn't quite working out at Ubisoft, so that gets pushed to 2023 as well. Fire Emblem in the holiday season does make a lot of sense. I think that early December slot, like Advance Wars was supposed to have, would be a perfect time for a new Fire Emblem game. That seems so cozy, you know, just Christmas breaks, playing some Fire Emblem. And I guess it does make you question, when is Advance Wars coming out? Because, you know, this would kind of step on the toes of Advance Wars. Who knows? I mean, that's one of those things where we could get that Direct this June. If that rumor is true from Alana Pierce, we could get that Direct on June 29th, and they could be like, yeah, it's out next week, or in 3 weeks, because it is getting a physical release, so that kind of makes the distribution of that game a little bit trickier now. But yeah, really interesting stuff with Fire Emblem. Do you believe these rumors? If you don't know, I guess I should have said this earlier, Emily Rogers has been right about most of her reporting. I think iconically she was wrong about Mother 3 back in like 2015 once. But other than that, you know, if you look back at all of her reporting, she is very, very reliable. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this Fire Emblem rumor. Are you interested in this new mechanic of summoning old Fire Emblem characters into your mainline Fire Emblem game and just kind of having them on your squad? I think, as someone who has been playing since Awakening and not played the older games, I think this sounds interesting. I'm down for this to see where it goes. Hopefully, they're, you know, Nintendo's not very predatory when it comes to microtransactions and their main, you know, $60 game. So I'm not really worried about that. But hopefully, they don't do something too bad with that. And personally, for me, so they're talking about how your character has red and blue hair, and there's like, you know, that whole thing. That sounds to me like they could do something with different paths again. They probably will. That's been the main mechanic of Fire Emblem for the past like 3 games. I hope they don't, though. I would love just a straight shot story like Echoes, but we'll see. Let me know. Like I said, what do you think of these rumors? Do you lead any credence to the possibility of a Nintendo Direct happening on June 29th? And do you believe that Fire Emblem is already finished, evidently, and being maybe released this year? I mean, that's just my theory. Emily didn't say that. But yeah, let me know what you think of this Fire Emblem Switch rumor down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I will probably mention this briefly on this week's episode of Nintendo Wrap, but I wanted to do a full video kind of dissecting it as well as the direct rumors, because we don't have anything else to talk about, because Persona's not coming to Switch, you know? We're not getting, there's no Nintendo Direct right now. There's no Persona. There's no Hollow Knight Silksong on Switch, you know? There's nothing right now, man. E3's been a bust for Nintendo fans. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, there you guys have it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia. Join my Discord. Link to that is down below. TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, all the social medias. And of course, you can subscribe here for more Nintendo news. Until next time, peace.